Welcome back, Style of Play Football. Myself, Theo. We're joined by Liverpool fan Reese. Reese, man, what you saying?
I'm good, I'm not too bad, just grinding, chipping away. Obviously, it's winter and whatnot, but
Yeah,
got to
trust
get
me.
trying to keep busy, trying to keep productive. That's the only way forward.
Trust me, now I hear them ones, man. I definitely hear about the winter. I was thinking, you contemplate putting the central heating on. I was like, shall I leave it off for another day or two? But no, I had to come on today, man. Today is like, I've just literally been watching Astana versus Chelsea. Obviously, for those that know, I'm a Chelsea fan, but you see over there, I don't know how they cope. It's -11, I think they said.
Mm.
Playing football in that, you crazy.
Not for the faint of heart, but for me, obviously, the
Yeah.
money that's getting paid for me, that's the motivation there, and then obviously the passion to
Listen,
just to wear that badge. I want to do well for Chelsea and win things. Obviously, it's not easy, but there's enough motivation there for me. If it was me playing, I'll be thinking about the money there to get me
nah,
through.
100,
Coach them days playing.
100%, man. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, if I'm on like 80 grand, 100 grand a week, listen, go fly me out to Astana, Kazakhstan, wherever. I'm there. I'll just put an extra layer on and think about my 100 grand coming in on the Friday. Do you know what I mean? Them ones there. But yeah, anyone who's new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. If you're here as part of the live stream, make sure you're getting involved in the live stream as well. This is a Liverpool focused episode that we're doing, so if you're a Liverpool fan after this, you're watching it, make sure you leave your comments and your thoughts below about Arne Slot and his Liverpool resurgence after the couple of shaky years under Jurgen Klopp, man. But just give me your first assessments of obviously Arne Slot coming. I don't feel like he had to change too much from what Jurgen Klopp left Liverpool in a very good position, but he's come and he's tweaked a couple of little things, Arne Slot, but seasons could not have gone any better for him. The start of the season, anyway.
If I'm being honest, I'm really impressed with what he's done so far. The way he's kind of come in, he hasn't made a lot of noise. He hasn't changed anything too quickly. And I think if you look at the past, not just Liverpool, but managers that have come into teams, like I remember Villas-Boas coming into Chelsea and he tried to change things too quickly. That upset certain senior players, and that's how he ended up getting sacked. I can understand having your own idea and your own philosophy, but if it's not broke, don't fix it, and don't you got to kind of tweak it slightly. And the squad that Klopp left Slot with, he's kind of left us in a good position. So I always felt when people felt that we was going to fall off, I didn't really believe that. Obviously, uh, opposite fans might think that's just emotional. You're going to say that because you support Liverpool, but how I saw it is, if you look at, for example, when Wenger left Arsenal, when Ferguson left Man United, both of them teams needed serious rebuilding.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
our team, we've got quite a good core still. The foundations are still there. We've got certain senior players, the Salahs, the Trents, the Robinsons, the Van Dijks, the Allisons, who have actually won major trophies, and then you've got that blend of young players and certain players that we kind of bought last season's kind of sort our midfield with the McAllister and the Gravenberch.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I do like Slot because I think they're similar managers, but I think Slot's a bit more direct. He's
Yeah.
respectful, very direct with what he says. So he doesn't say things in a disrespectful way, but he gets his point across. He's gonna be honest with you and let you know. Like I think the game we had the other day, obviously he said he wasn't happy, and I was completely the same.
Which
Even though
which
we
game
won
is that? The
Granola, I think it was when we won
Oh,
one
yeah,
0
yeah, yeah. It wasn't a bad game, but it could have been
Yeah,
better. Yeah, it could have
yeah,
been better.
it's more the standards of playing. Like I said, you can get away with those games against them, but like what he said, if you want to win the competition, you got to play at a high level. You can't just turn up and think, yeah, we're just going to get the result. And I think our players need that because a lot of them, obviously, I admire Klopp, and like I said, I'm a big fan of Klopp as well because he's allowed me to see my first Premier League in the Premier League era. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
can be honest,
no.
a lot of our players were spoiled by Klopp because Klopp protected them a lot. So even when they didn't do well, fair enough, you don't have to criticize them publicly, but even when they didn't do well, he would say the players did well. So you can see sometimes it's like the favoritism that we used to have when Klopp was manager, that certain players sometimes I'll perform when I want to kind of perform because I know I'm still going to get picked. Whereas I think because slots come in, it's kind of like everyone's kind of got to wake up and realize that they've got earn their position and whatnot.
Yeah, no. I think that's a good assessment because I think I was one of those that said Arne Slot when he come to Liverpool,
Mm.
he hasn't really got to do much. He just needs to nurture a couple of things, tweak a couple of things tactically, which he did. But the squad was there. Like the squad was there. It was rebuilt while Klopp was phasing himself out of Liverpool. I remember that season when you had Henderson, Fabinho in the midfield, and you could just see that the legs had gone. Like you needed to replace that quickly. And I think bringing in Gravenberg, who obviously wasn't, he was meant to be the Zubimendi deal, was meant to be the one that was meant to be alongside McAllister, but Gravenberg's come in. I think he played there for Ajax. I think actually he played that kind of role for Ajax where he's playing now. But even your attackers, I think even your attackers have stepped up a little bit more. Diego Jota had a very good end to the season, started this season very well. Nunes, I still have question marks about, which we'll talk about in a minute. But Salah is Salah. Do you know what I mean? He's always gonna bag goals.
No, 100%. 100%. Like I said, we'll get into the Nunes. Talk. Been a lot of debates about Nunes like this week from like Liverpool podcasts in general about Nunes. Yeah.
Let me ask you about some of the sort of fringe players, because I feel obviously one thing that I think Liverpool have suffered with over the last 2 or 3 seasons is always a couple of injuries along the way throughout the season, and then not to say that Liverpool have a dip in form, but it does question the squad depth that Liverpool have at times as well. And I think of players like Joe Gomez, who was almost ready to leave the club at one point, Jarrell Quansah, Harvey Elliott, who's coming back from an injury, Endo, Chiesa, who we haven't really got to see much of due to injuries as well. Those players now, even more so now, because we're coming into that busy period of the Premier League, and obviously the Champions League is in full effect, and I think it still has a break at some point over the winter period. But this is a massive period now for Liverpool in terms of the Premier League. Front runners so far at the moment, but those players are going to have to start stepping up a little bit more now, giving Slot opportunity to rotate some of the regular starters as well.
No, I think 100%, because our squad, like I said, it is thin. Like if you look at our minus maybe the first 13 or 14, then you've got those outside players that you've mentioned. I do think if we are gonna continue that challenge for the league, because obviously for me the objectives have changed. Like for me at the start of the season, I felt that Liverpool was gonna win the league.
At the start of the season,
yeah, I actually backed us.
Okay.
Whereas we got quite a good squad, and obviously. I didn't know too much about Slot, but then I had to go and do a little research, a little homework about him, see how final play, and it suits a lot of our players. The football one's it's a bit more possession based, so the players are not necessarily going to tire out as much because it's not full throttle, constant 100 miles an hour. It's more controlled, and the build-up play, I kind of like that sort of stuff. I think Elliot, I'm a big fan of Elliot. Obviously, he was unfortunate with the injury, because I remember during pre-season he started really well and he picked up an injury. I think he will get game time. Endo, I'm not sure. Because I think if he was going to get game time, he would have gave him some games.
I think he's played 20 minutes so far this season.
I don't really think he gets him. So I think what he tends to do is he brings him on to see out games. That's what I've noticed when we've had tight games. I think when we were playing you lot, when we beat you 2-1, when there were certain games where the game's kind of still up in the air, he kind of brings Endo on as that extra defensive pair of legs to kind of see out the game. It's been a bit frustrating because I've only seen small samples of him, but they did say beforehand that he's kind of having a pre-season because he didn't really have one. So it's kind of like whatever he's been doing now, when he's been getting little niggles, he's been kind of trying to get up to speed. So hopefully he kind of comes into the frame. Gomez, like I said, Gomez and Quansah are going to have to play their part because Konate is injured at the minute. So.
But how long is he out for? I thought it was like till January, I think, is it not, or something like that?
Just to be on the safe side, I wouldn't bring him back in until January. Just on the safe side. He may be available just before then. I saw his Twitter. He's not on crutches, so he's not in a brace.
Okay.
He's training. I think he's in the gym, like walking and training fully now. So obviously he's on the mend. But yeah, I wouldn't risk bringing him back until he's fully healed for January. So hopefully, obviously, we can just continue consistently with our winning most of our games. Obviously, we had a little slip up against Newcastle, but during the Christmas period, you're always going to have some sort of slip up because games every 2 or 3 days, so you kind of got to rotate your squad. The only thing I do worry about is that Slot, like he has said, he likes to pick the same 11. He usually likes to pick the same, which I can understand. You want to pick your strongest 11 ideally, but when you're challenging for multiple trophies, you do need to rotate your squad. So I'm hoping we can just continue, and maybe in January, I'm not holding my breath because of the owners we have, but maybe in January we do pick up a six and maybe a centre back.
Yeah, we'll get on to transfer targets in a minute. I was going to ask you that, but just looking at this fixture list now, obviously take away the Carabao Cup. You got Tottenham. Wait, you must have a game before then. Oh, Fulham. You got Fulham before. All right, okay. Because I was going to say, you've had a full week's rest. Obviously, no Everton, no Derby. Although I did read that the Derby's been put in for, I think it's like
second half of the season.
February, yeah. It's like the 11th or something like February like that. But so you got, forget where the Carabao Cup, you'll beat Southampton. That's a win already.
We rest some of our players though. I'm hoping he rotates.
Yeah, but this is why I was saying that.
Not the whole team. Play a couple senior players, but play a few of the squad players for me.
Yeah, they got to be in that.
Respect to Southampton, but I think whatever team we put out with one or two senior
comfortable,
players, we should really comfortably beat them. That's how I feel.
Comfortable.
That's what I mean.
These games here now. So Tottenham, the iffy. Tottenham or Tottenham, Spursy, innit? So you're not sure which Tottenham's turning up.
With Spurs, because Spurs are Spurs. Don't get me wrong, they might turn up and give us a game, but I just think the way they play kind of falls into our hands. I think
the high line,
and obviously I rate Ange as a manager. I just think he needs to tweak a couple things when it comes to tactics to see out games sometimes.
That's if he's there. If they lose tonight and they lose to I think they got Southampton at the weekend. If they lose them two, he's gone. He's gone.
I think that'd be a mistake though. Obviously, I'm not a Tottenham fan, but this is the problem with football. Managers don't really get time. It's like the owners want instant results, whereas for me, if you look at how we were successful with Klopp in the first place, we weren't challenging for the league straight away. It was.
No, I hear that. But
most of the time you need time, whereas managers don't really get time.
Ange isn't the problem at Tottenham. The Tottenham owner, Daniel Levy, is the issue at Tottenham. So it doesn't matter who comes in.
Because I know I'm sure there's like board member. He's like the front, he's like the face, but I'm sure there's other guys that actually
but I think he's the majority shareholder though. So he'll have like the final say, I'd assume. But listen, the ownership above Ange is the problem at the very, very top. But let's move on. I think Leicester, you'll beat them. West Ham, very, very difficult going there.
Yeah, West Ham turn up for me. Most of this season they've been poor.
Yeah, but they love to turn up when they need to turn up though.
Yeah, especially at their ground.
Exactly. Now this game here,
I think that's going to be tough. I think
that's a tough game. Forget Accrington. In fact, I was going to say forget Forest, but they're high flying at the moment. They're 5th or 6th in the league. But I think these games here now. So I look at these games now because obviously when the Champions League I think comes back 21st of January. So you got Lille. Brentford's going to be a tough game. I think PSV's a tough game. I think Bournemouth. I know. In fact, you used to have a really bad record at Bournemouth. I think.
Don't remind me, Theo. Don't remind me.
I'm just putting it out there. Wolves. So I think the games have kind of come thick and fast after. I think that was the reason why I wanted to show that. But the games are coming up thick and fast for Liverpool, and I think you need to definitely have some of those players that we just mentioned, the Endos, Quansah, Conor Bradley, another one as well, who, for me, I like Conor Bradley, I think Conor Bradley is much better. I'm speaking from an outside perspective, but I think he's a much better defender than Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think if you're talking about delivery, you're talking about someone who's potentially going to get you an assist or whatever, then obviously you're looking at Trent. He's one of the best passers in world's football today. But defensively, and even offensively in some ways as well, I'm picking Conor Bradley over Trent. What do you think?
You're not the first person I've heard say that. I understand it because for me, Bradley's more of a traditional fullback. He's more of that old school. Before we had the fullbacks now, which is the Robinsons who are a bit more advanced. Even though Robinson's good defensively as well, but he's kind of, but that's a separate. Uh, he's more of a traditional fullback, that 4-4-2 that they will defend most. They'll pick and choose when they go forward, but most of the time they got that balance of knowing how to defend and knowing when to go forward. I do think he's better than Trent defensively. I don't think he's way better, but I do think he's better. But the reason I just think he's more of a traditional fullback, whereas Trent's more of an anomaly. He's someone, like the way he plays now, especially, is that when he gets on the ball, he's kind of equalizer. He offers something different. He can drive into midfield. He can play.
Yeah,
Where
it's
he
more
drops,
dynamic.
yeah, he can, drops in from the right back into midfield. I think defensively he's decent. I've never thought he's exceptional, but I just think he's become complacent because people forget when he first came on the scene, he was much better defensively because he was more hungry. I just think because over time he's won a few things, and then Klopp's kind of used him in a way where he's allowed him to kind of use his creative abilities more. He's kind of more negligence to the defensive side because we always had either Konate or Henderson covering Trent. But I do like Bradley a lot. I was kind of disappointed that he got that injury against Madrid because he played really well. But yeah, I'm hoping obviously he gets a speedy recovery and he comes back in. Because what I like about Bradley as well, it gives Trent something to think about. You've got
Well, it's
his top,
competition.
yeah, and that's what you need for me in the squad, especially if you want to challenge and win multiple trophies. You need someone knowing that if I don't play well, someone else is going to come in and take my place because they're hungry. So, yeah.
100%. No, I think. Look, I mean, let's quickly talk about Trent before we get on to Nunez. But I feel like with obviously there's been a lot of talk about Mo Salah's contract, Virgil van Dijk's contract. They both seem to be heading in the right direction to get renewals at Liverpool. But the one bit of noise that we haven't heard, I don't think, and you might know, you're closer to the Liverpool fan base than I am, but I haven't heard much noise around Trent's contract, and I haven't heard much progression or like things in the media leaking out or questions being even asked to Trent directly like they have done to Virgil and to Mo. It kind of feels like his head's been turned already with this Real Madrid talk, and obviously going over there. Jude's there, is one of his new best friends is over there. It's true. Yeah, ever since the Euros, it seems like they're best friends. I don't know where that came from, but
I don't even think that's his new best friends. I think they've been friends. I just think over time they've got closer, but I think they've always been friends. It's just maybe to the public eye,
it's a bit more open now.
That they're really close, but I think they've been friends.
Do you see him staying? I suppose is the question. Do you see him staying?
I'm not sure. I'm 50-50 about Trent. I do think his head's been turned and he is interested in going to Madrid, but I do think what he's waiting for which is something that is not necessarily guaranteed. He's looking to see the ambition of the owners. That's what he's looking to see. But that's what I think. That's what he has said previously. He said he's more looking at the ambition of the direction of the club. And one of the things our fan base we've always debated is that FSG, they're decent owners. Like as a business, they run the club really well, but in terms of football, they don't really back us enough. They always kind of sell.
They don't.
They always kind of penny pinch. If they can find a cheaper option to do things, and that's cost us a number of seasons in the past with, when we've tried to retain or win certain trophies. I'm kind of 50-50. I think Virgil and Salah will sign, but I think if Trent's does happen, his will be the last one. I'm not sure because I think he's looking at to see if Salah and Virgil sign, but he's also looking at to see if there's guarantees of maybe strengthening in January or the summer. But I don't think if they're gonna change something for me, I don't think they're gonna change it because of Trent. They didn't change it for Klopp. So for me, I don't. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I don't see them changing it for him. Obviously, I would like him to stay because he's my favorite player at Liverpool. For me, that's my favorite player that I like, Trent. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure at the minute because, like I said, the other two they just want their contracts. You can see they want to stay. I think Trent wants to stay, but he has said he wants to see the ambition of the club, which for me, like I said previously, when you're looking when it comes to ambition, they kind of lack. They do just enough. They never go out and beyond for us. So yeah,
I think I know money's not the be all and end all, but I think if someone's dangling a carrot over you and they're offering you a little bit, an extra couple of thousand a week, the climate is nicer in Madrid than it is in grey, cloudy Liverpool most weekends. Do you know what I mean? And I think he's won it. He's won enough in Liverpool. It's not like he's still searching to win something. Do you know what I mean?
No, I do think I wouldn't say he's won enough, but he has won.
He's won everything, no? I think he's won.
But would you have not liked to have won it multiple times, just once?
I think he's done it all, man. He's ticked all his things off that he wants at Liverpool.
I hear it, but he's from there, so he's got to remember if he does make this choice, you can't come back to Liverpool. And your family,
No.
You're from there. It's not like you're a guy who's just passing. You grew up there. Like, for me, I don't want to go into the details, but there's a reason why Gerrard last minute did a youth.
Trust me, I'm a Chelsea fan. I know them details.
But anyone who knows, and there's a reason why Rooney did a last minute from not going to City when he was at United. There's reasons why. I get it, and he's got to remember, Real Madrid, you're going to be one of many. When things are not going well, they'll turn on you, bro.
100%, man.
Don't ask Vinicius Junior.
No, listen,
they're a phenomenal team, but they're very toxic when things are not going their way. Jude Bellingham's going to find out about that this season.
I've been saying that. I've been saying that for the longest. But
you're going to see they start blaming, instead of the whole team, they start targeting individuals. So for me, if he does go, I do wish him all the best. I won't hold no feelings, but I think for me, you could still end up going Real Madrid later on in your career. You're only 25, 26. The way
he's got time
now, and the kind of what's the word I'm kind of looking for? The longevity in terms of how career stretched, the facilities and certain things in place. You can play for a lot longer now than back in the day. So for me, who's to say you don't stay for another 2 or 3 seasons, sign a new contract, and then when you do decide to go to them again, if they really want you, we're able to get.
Would they come back in for him? I think for him, that's what he's got to weigh up. And are they going to come back in for him? Because obviously they need a right back. I think Carvajal's out for the season, so I think they need a right back quickly. And I think, and the worst thing is, don't forget his contract's running out. It's not like that he's got like a fee that he can go talk to clubs, I think, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So if this isn't sorted out, this is why whenever I talk to Liverpool fans, I think, how the hell did you lot let 3 of your best players, like if you let Mo Salah go on a free, boy oh boy, man, that would be.
Your guess is mine. Obviously, the reason I'm calm about it is because I'm not in control of it, and
of course.
In the back of my mind, I like to think that at least 2 of them are going to stay in an ideal world 3, but I think ours will get done. And I think Virgil's will get done.
Yeah.
Trent, I'm not sure. The only thing with Trent as well is that if Real Madrid are only in for you now, why are you going to go to a club who's not really serious about you? Because I think the only reason they're trying to come and get you now is because you're for free. If they had to pay a certain amount of money, they're not going to try and pay it.
But that's the Real Madrid. Yeah, Real Madrid, they got to do that. They got to go and get him. If they're going to go and get him now, listen. I said I'd love him at Chelsea, but I know that's never going to happen. But I'm surprised there's not other clubs that are heavily linked to him, because this is one of the world's best. This is the world's best right back. No doubt about that. He's probably the world's best right back when you talk about going forward, what he can bring to the game, how he can drop into the midfield. Yes, he's not the best defensively, but he can still defend. Do you know what I mean? But I think you're right, though. I think your money's on it there. I think Virgil, I think Mo will both sign. They'll both sign their deals. I think Virgil's is pretty much done, if I'm honest. I think he's the one that everyone was like less concerned about. I think Mo's still got that sort of Saudi Pro League in his mind.
I do think Salah's is done. I just don't think they've announced it, because our owners, they're the type where they'll wait, and then around Christmas time they'll be like, here's a present for all of you.
No, because remember the last time? Do you remember the last time how they announced it as well?
No, with Virgil, when we first signed Virgil, I think it was they announced it on Christmas Day or something. So and they always look at the marketing and certain things, and I also think if they announce it later, that gives them an excuse not to go and buy players in January.
That's a very good shout.
I don't agree with it, but this
Yeah,
is
but
how
fans
my
will forget. Fans will forget what you need.
how the owners operate. Yeah, certain fans, especially the like vocal ones, the
Yeah,
proper
yeah.
emotion, kind of buy at everything that is given to them right in front of them. You know what I mean? Hopefully, like I said, hopefully Trent stays. But the reason I'm more calm about it is because, like I said, I'm not in control of it, and in the back of my mind, I do think Salah and Virgil will sign. So the
Yeah,
rest,
no,
just gotta wait and see. You know what I mean?
no, we'll have to see on that one. But let's talk about Darwin Nunez. I think he was subbed, wasn't he, for Cody Gapco the other night. Wasn't impressed that he was coming off, but he seems to be. I'm on the fence with him because when I watch him sometimes, I think he looks like a good player, but for the quality that he's got, he misses a lot of shots, a lot of chances, big chances as well. What's your thoughts on him? What do you think about him, and has he still got a role to play at Liverpool?
The Darwin debate. It's, it's weird, yeah, because it splits the fan base. Like for me, if I'm honest, I don't think he's Liverpool's his level. I think he needs to be at a team where they kind of play through. They're gonna play with him, with everything that goes through him. Whether that could be, say, the Premier League, for example, that could be a West Ham, a Newcastle, a team where they're gonna get balls into the box. All of the creative players gonna go through him. I think don't. I think he's a decent player. He works hard, but this is his third season now, and I'm
Exactly.
not. I'm not someone. I don't look at stats too much. I look at them a little bit. I'm more of a. I like the eye test, and for me, if you watch him when he has a chance where it's instinctive, he scores. When he has time to think about it, he always misses. For me, when he first came, I was told from a lot of people that he's a killer. He was lighting up the Portuguese league, which he was, but there's levels: Portuguese league, the Premier League,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
if for me, if he hasn't made that, obviously I'm still giving him to the end of the season, but I do think Slot doesn't trust him. You can kind of see that, even though he's giving him game time. I think if you look, there's times he's played Diaz down the middle instead of him. So for me, if that's not kind of screaming that you don't trust him, and then before that, he wasn't even getting a look in when Jota was available. It's just that Jota's kind of injury prone. I
Yeah.
think he works hard, and like I said, he's got passion and he runs around and whatnot. But the amount of money we paid for him, we paid for him to put the ball in the back of the net, and I don't think most guys who know how to finish, they're very calm in the box. They're very calm
Just about to
one on
say that.
situations. They don't panic. They slow things down. They know what they're gonna do. Whereas a lot of the time he's panicking, he's rushing, especially against Newcastle. Apologies for the noise. My area is a bit
It's all
active.
right, man.
But yeah, I don't know if you saw the game against Nunes. I mean, sorry, against Newcastle, but everything he touched, it was just below par. It's like the passes was rushed. It was behind the players. And when we had certain counter attacks, it would mess it up. It would allow Newcastle to get back into shape. When he had certain one or two chances, I think he had a chance where Gakpo went to shoot and he was coming in at the near post, but he missed it. But it's like most strikers, they get there because
Yeah.
they're busting the gut. They're gonna find if that's the law, he finds a way to get there. If that's I'm trying to think, Haaland,
Most strikers are hitting, are doing that.
who want to score, they're gonna find a way to get that ball in the
Killers in
net,
front of goal.
even if that means they end up in the net or they end up getting hurt. I mean,
Trust me.
they're gonna find a way because all they think about is goals, goals, goals. But yeah, I just think if he was gonna make that transition already, he's 25 now for me, so we can't do this. He's a young player. He's still trying to adapt. It's his third season. Like I said, no offense to him. Just not no slander that they're going to get onto him like that. I just don't think he's good enough for us. And I think the way Slot plays, you can see that because obviously he looks like he's using him in a different way. He
Yeah.
also he's using him more to work for the team because he could see he's not really up to par. And I just think, yeah, I think ideally I would move him on in January, but I know with us we're probably going to end up moving him on in the summer.
I think he's not. There's not been enough progression for him. You know, when you sign someone, you want to see some sort of trajectory where you can see them kind of getting better over season, over time. And certain things that you just mentioned, you can actually coach that into a player, like the composure in front of goal, composing yourself before you strike or whatever. And I don't know if that's happening. I'm assuming it is with Liverpool, but for him still to be kind of like looking very raw for 3 years on,
I'm saying,
like that's not sustainable at a club like Liverpool, because you get found out very quickly, like especially in that area of the pitch as well, where I think should Mo Salah leave, the emphasis is going to be a lot bigger on the likes of Jota, Gakpo, Nunez to be chipping in and scoring the goals, because a lot of them now coming from Salah. He's, you know, he cuts in. He's one of the best like players, wingers ever. But if he leaves, you better bet your last pound that Nunez is going to be the people that are looking at to say, right, what have you got for us then? Because he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy.
Now, anyway, everything shouldn't be dependent on Mo.
Nah, it shouldn't.
But the crazy stat is, as I'm sure I saw something, I think he's responsible for 70% of our goals, which is crazy. But with Nunez, I just think, to go back to Nunez, I just think the weight of the shirt and the expectation, I just think it's too. He wants to do well, but you know when someone wants to do well, but they're trying too hard, he's not relaxed. If it's, imagine me or you, Theo, you're in a job and it's your 3rd year and you're still not up to par. You're not
you gotta go, man.
You probably wouldn't even get 3 years. You probably wouldn't. Then. So obviously, I do think it will work out for him when he moves on to another league, maybe Spain or Italy. I think he gets goals slower. So I think he'll be able to get more time to think. And then also, I just think he needs a team where the foundations, they're going to kind of play to his strengths. So,
100%. No, I agree with that. I think he's got another 6 months in him. And if he doesn't turn things around, or he's not looking like almost the finished article, because like you said, 25, that's your peak years, especially as a striker as well. You should be hitting peak form. I think he's got 6 months at least. Like in him, and then I think he'll get moved on. But Slot's got you at the top of the league. The slot machine is in full effect, as Damon would say. But what does this like? Can you? I don't know what I'm trying to say here. My words are all muddled. But are you winning the league? Are you going all the way? Man City look down and out. They've got 1 win in 10. Could be 11 after the Manchester derby at the weekend. Chelsea are there or thereabouts, but we're going to drop off. We're going to have...
Stop that.
We're gonna drop off. We're gonna drop off at some point. Arsenal still there or thereabouts, but I can't see many teams catching Liverpool this season now. I think if you get through that January, February that we just looked at, those busy periods, you keep everyone fit as well. I can't see anyone catching Liverpool this season.
I'm still going to stick to what I said at the start of the season. I think we're going to win the league.
Do
I think it's good? Do I think it's done? No, because I still think Arsenal are there or thereabouts. They will be there or thereabouts, and Chelsea are dark horses. I did say this at the start of the season that they would be dark horses. You may fall off, but at the minute, the momentum you've got,
we're there.
Momentum's a massive thing in football. So for me, I think it's a 3-horse race. I don't think City's gonna win it, but I wouldn't rule them out completely.
So who's your 3? You're talking City, Chelsea,
right,
Liverpool.
Now, I'm talking my 3. I'm gonna say Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea. I think City. Okay. I don't think they're gonna win it, but I would say they're outsiders. We're not clear enough of them yet. I don't think.
If they lose on Sunday, they're out.
By January, go and sign 3 or 4 players, and then it's a game changer for me. And you got to remember, second half of the season, they go on runs.
Nah, it's too late then. It's too late. I know.
Win like 10, 11, 10.
Nah, it's too late. Because I can't see Liverpool dropping, like going on a really disastrous run and losing like 6 or 7 games. So you could go on a 10 or 11 game run as well, and they got that gap is too big now. So come like a couple of weeks time, if it's even bigger, there's no way you let that go. If you do, listen, I'm going to be driving around Liverpool honking that horn. I don't care who wins the league, because you lot have got to win that league.
100%. No, we don't bold it, but I don't hide. I'm the type of guy, win, lose, or draw, I don't hide.
Yeah, I hear that.
I'm here for the good times and the bad. I'm not one of them glory hunters who decides to support a team because they start winning. I've seen a lot of hate. I've seen a lot of success. Trophies, you know what I mean? So, but for me, for us to get over the line, like I said, I do think we need to strengthen in January, and I'm not 100% sure when.
Who do you bring in though? Who like, because January is always a difficult time to bring players in. Like it's always difficult.
Because I think Gravenberch is doing phenomenal, but he needs the rest. You can't. If you look at the last few games, I think Granola, he looked tired. Newcastle, he looked tired. You could see the fatigue a little bit. So if possible, I would go back in for Zubimendi. I know some of our fans, their feelings are hurt, and they're like,
Listen,
"Oh no, no."
do you want to win the league or not?
For me, he's a top player. Like I said, I take emotion out of it. Like it is what it is. We didn't get him for whatever reason. He's realized now that he does want to leave Real Sociedad. He made a mistake. Obviously, City, Rom, Barca are going to be interested as well. If we don't get him, we need to get someone and a centre back. I do think, because if you look with Virgil and Konate, when they do, like Konate is injured, you kind of get down to the bare bones.
Yeah.
Virgil and Konate are kind of in that elite bracket. Then you've got Kwanzaa, who's a young player. He's a promising player. Then you've got Gomez, who's a squad player, but the level does drop when Virgil or Konate is not playing. So if we can get a centre back and a 6, and come January, February, the gap is maybe 10 points at least, 7 to 10 points, then yeah, 100%.
I do think in the summer you need to address the left back situation as well. I think
if I could do it in January, I would, but I just know how much they don't do things the easy way.
No, I know.
By a bit, you know what I mean?
But yeah, that's left. But Robinson's good, but I think his times are up at Liverpool now. So I think you can see it. You can see his legs aren't there anymore. He hasn't got the legs to be running up and down the wing. Before we wrap up, I did say we were gonna do this, so let's do it. Let's try and. But I need to try and.
I'm gonna need some assistance though, still, because when I'm trying to think, you got for my age, there's certain players before my time that I probably won't even be able to mention.
All right, listen, okay.
So
all right. Well, so if anyone that doesn't know, so I think it's March the 22nd. That must be when the next international break is. But there's a Liverpool Legends game, Chelsea Legends game at Anfield. I think the tickets go on sale for Liverpool fans tomorrow, or they're on sale now for members. General sale tomorrow. Chelsea a couple of days later. But I'm expecting some big names to be at this, because we've had the rivalry from Jose Mourinho to Rafa Benitez days, and all the Champions League games, all of that stuff. Even now, modern day, we've had the League Cup finals where I feel like we were robbed of a League Cup and whatever else. But we've had some really good, over the years, over like the Roman Abramovich years and all the rest of it, we've had some really good fixtures. But I did say that we were going to try and name our Legends squad that we would want to see at that game on the 22nd of March. I'm happy to go first. I did this on my Chelsea pod not too long ago.
So you're ready, all right? Go on.
No, I'm not. It's not that I'm ready, but I'm trying to remember them quickly. So mine's quite easy. Mine's quite easy. So we can do position for like goalkeeper if you want, or.
All right, cool. We can do it like that.
All right, then cool. Let's go. So my goalkeeper is obviously going to be Petr Cech, in it. I can't have anyone else in goal.
Okay. For me, I'm gonna go Pepe Reina. I mean, if he's a, I'm gonna go Pepe. If it wasn't him, I would have said Jersey Dudek, but I'm gonna go Pepe Reina.
I don't think I'd have another goalkeeper. The only other one I'd have is Courtois, but he's still playing, so I can't even have him. Right back, I would have toss up between. No, I'm gonna go Branislav Ivanovic. I was gonna go with Aspilicueta, but I'll go with Ivanovic right back.
Right back, I'm gonna go Steve Finnan. Is he available?
He's available. Yeah. He's available. You can have him.
Let me know if the player I mentioned and he's not available in it. But yeah, Steve Finnan, I'm gonna go for.
I think I'm saying they're available. They might not be turning up on March, but in my eyes, they're available. They're not playing football right now, so they're available.
Very underrated. You don't really get the accolades.
Who, Finnan?
Yeah, especially when he played for us. I think solid right back.
He got overlooked a lot though, I think, in that era of football.
Yeah.
100%. My two centre backs. This is easy. Why am I thinking about this? Obviously, John Terry and Ricardo Carvalho have to be the centre backs. Honourable shout out to Marcel Desailly, but I don't think in a Legends game, I think he'd get run riot in there. So Carvalho, John Terry, one of the best partnerships in Premier League history.
For centre backs, I'm gonna go Sami Hyypiä.
Come on.
And the other centre back, I would have said Jamie Carragher, but he's probably not going to play. I'm assuming.
He might, you
I,
know.
I would have said those are my two. If it
He
wasn't
might,
Carragher,
man.
I would have said Stefan Honcho because Hopia and Honcho had
Uh,
passed partnership during the
although
Vinny
do you-
years and who.
I'll be honest, I didn't rate Carragher as a centre back. I still don't.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
still
But yeah,
don't. Man. He talks too much.
I,
He talks too much, man.
no, I hear that, but that's the talking. The Carragher now, I don't really rate the commentator character. The
Like,
talking for got nothing to do with him as a player, because obviously remember John Terry as a person, he's not the greatest
no,
person.
of course, come on. Of course, we know that.
But yeah,
Jose said it best, though. Jose said it best, but
go on.
I need to find the quote. I can't even remember. It's just gone out of my head, but I'm gonna find the quote. I'm gonna post it on this post on the socials. Left back. Let me think of a left back.
Cool.
Oh, Ashley Cole. Come on, easy,
Cool.
easy.
Yeah, man. Best for me, he's the best left back in the Premier League era for me.
You going for the one that scored the own goal? I
Who's
never
that?
scored the own goal. Was it a pass back? John Arne.
I'm gonna go for Reese still. He's another one that's
Yeah.
great as a left back. I think
Yeah.
going forward and defensively,
He was solid.
defensively strong like an ox, and going forward, like I said, that left foot.
Mm.
I think what a thing of beauty for me.
Yeah.
Reece.
Yeah, he was solid. He was solid. To be fair, I'm not even doing this in any sort of formation. Like I should have said that at the start. I'm just trying to think of who I'd play. So I think if I had like a midfield, this is going to sound mad as well. My midfield is going to be really unbalanced. I think I would probably have, as a defensive midfielder, I'd love to have Claude Makelele, but he was the best player for me, like growing up watching him. But I think I'm going to go Michael Essien. Although I think Claude Makelele is better than Michael Essien. I just think Michael Essien.
The options you got at your disposal.
Come on, I could have had Balak. I could have had loads of players in that midfield right there.
I wouldn't have Balak as the defensive mid.
No, that's what I'm saying. This isn't even like,
8.
yeah, this isn't in any like. I'm not even thinking about the formation. I'm just throwing 3 midfield names out there that I can think of quickly.
Cool.
I might have to cheat as well. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Might have to throw someone in there that isn't even a midfielder, but put him in the midfield.
So that's your 6, yeah, Essien.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let's throw him in there.
My 6. My first choice would be Mascherano.
Come on.
For me, another one. He just knew how to get things done. He didn't mind getting his hands dirty, and I think as a footballer, he was underrated as well. My backup would be Didi Harman as my 6. But yeah, Mascherano for me, and then
Yeah.
and then I'll do my 2-8s.
Who else would I have in the midfield? Frank. I'd have Frank Lampard in there. Lampard's got to be in there. Still the all-time goal scorer for Chelsea. Just the less said, the better about him. No need to say much on him. To be fair, I'm guessing yours is.
Come. For me, the greatest, but for me, that's my legend, Steven Gerrard. That's
The Gerrard, man. Yeah, he's got to be in there still.
Are you gonna have another 8 as well? You just
Nah, I don't know. This is where I might have to cheat a little bit, I think.
I was gonna say, if I got another one, I'm gonna go Xabi Alonso.
See, that's why I say. You can have him. You can have him there.
I'll have Xabi Alonso and Mascherano sitting, and then Alonso on the ball can go forward a bit, can advance a bit further. But then Gerrard would be the most advanced one out of the 3.
This is where it gets tough. This is where it gets tough now. I might have to put. I can't leave him out though. Right, I'm gonna have to do that. So I'm gonna put Balak alongside Lampard. I think.
Yeah.
I think. But now I'm annoyed because now I need to drop someone out my. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Balak's in the midfield.
Okay.
So right. Yeah. Who you got on your right? Who's on your right?
Oh.
There's no Mo Salah in this one, you know. He'll be playing for Egypt. Let me think. You know what? Am I thinking too much into this? Yeah, I might put Hazard on the right. I'm gonna put Hazard on the right, and on the left, I'm gonna take my left one from now. I'm putting Iron Robin on the left. And
Okay.
just to annoy myself even more, I would have had Joe Cole in there at some point, but I can't fit him in. So he's got to stay out.
Okay. This is all
I
right.
guess.
My three though. The thing is with my three, they don't stick in it. They
Okay, swap around.
yeah, they swap around.
All
So for
right.
me, Courage is going on the right for me.
Ooh.
Um, in up front, I'm going Fernando Torres,
Come on.
and then obviously the Fernando Torres that played for Liverpool. I don't
No,
want to.
listen,
You lot
he got.
changed him and ruined him. I don't know what you lot done to him.
No, you lot ruined him. You lot made
But
him ran him. You ran him to the ground. You ran him to
nah,
the ground and then shot him off to
no,
us.
he should never have went. Blue's not his colour. Back to the
Oh
ring.
man, listen, he
But,
got us. He got us to the Champions League final. Can't say no more than that. Yeah.
but yeah, him up front, and then I'm trying to think. Ooh,
Gets a bit tough now, isn't it?
the left on the left. Do you know what? Actually, Torres is going on the left. I'm doing Robbie Fowler up front. For me,
Ooh, come on.
Fowler's a bit less mobile, so I'll probably
Nah,
keep
but he
him.
doesn't. He's always been like that though. He was
I'll
always on.
I would keep him up front, and then Torres and Sturridge can do the popping up. One of them pop up on the right, one of them pop
No,
up on
no,
the left.
no, no Suarez.
I would pick Suarez, but you know he's not going to get picked based on
Yeah.
yeah. The
Oh, that
setup
would
of,
be mad actually, wouldn't it? Suarez
I,
there.
I 100%. If I didn't have all of that, I would pick him. Because for me, in terms of what I've seen, the best forward I've seen in my time played
Come on, he's the best. He's one of the. In fact,
playing
I'd,
and the goals he used to score. He used to score goals out of nothing.
yeah, mad
He
player.
single-handedly almost dragged us to that, for us to even be in contention to win that league. It was him and Gerrard really that were kind of, I mean, put the team on their back, so to speak.
Front runners.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go Didier Drogba as my striker.
Whew. Yeah.
I was trying to think who it was then. Who would I had Costa or Drogba? But I'm gonna go Drogba.
Costa's back up in it. Costa on the bench. And then
Costa. If I need to bring someone on just to cause a bit of anarchy for like 30 minutes, but Drogba would be the main striker. That would actually be a very good line. That could actually be the lineups. You never know. You never know.
if that is, or I do find that, I think I gotta get tickets.
Oh, I'm getting them anyway. I gotta go to that. I can't miss that one. My man.
Let me know.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna try and get to that. But Jose will be my manager as well,
Okay.
just to top it off. And I'm sure you'd have to have Benitez, isn't it?
I'm picking Benitez as my manager. It's only right, the rivalry. It's only right.
Come on. That would be crazy. That would be crazy, man. But no, it'd be good, man. It'd be good. I think it's the 22nd of March, Anfield as well. So, I'm sure that will sell out quickly, like anything that Anfield does as well. So it should be sick to go to that. In the comments, man, in the comment section, if you're watching this afterwards, make sure you give us your predicted lineups or who you'd want to see in a Legends game, Chelsea or Liverpool. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. I can't lie. I'm looking forward to that more than the international break. So, do you know what I mean? It's one of them ones.
I have to look up tickets. So I didn't even know it was going to be Chelsea. So
Yeah. They're on sale for Liverpool fans. They're on sale from tomorrow. So yeah, man. If you grab them, let me know. Shout me. But yeah, Reese, man. Bless for coming on. Appreciate you coming on, man.
No problem.
But where can everyone find you as well? I know you're on.
I got my own channel. I haven't put anything up because I've been busy. So the last month or so, but I do got my own channel for Reese TV. What I put up football content. At the minute, just for Liverpool, but as it builds, I will start putting up other things and getting other people on the channel.
Yeah, I hear that. But you're going to be a regular on here now as well. So for anyone who's Liverpool content, Premier League content, Champions League, all that stuff that we cover, just make sure you subscribe. You'll see Reese on there. You'll see me on there. You'll see the other panel members on there as well. So make sure you join in. You get involved in all the discussions and all of that. And until then, enjoy the rest of your Thursday, man. We're out. We're done.
Yes.